TLDR wasn't actually that TLDR. Let me try again. So I paint with hibiscus tea. As you can see, it ranges from a more gray to a more pink. And this happens based off of acidity and timing and layering, what have you. But it's really pretty, and I'm excited to experiment with different colors. So be on the lookout for experiment number 2 coming your way probably in the next month. Hey guys, it's Kate, and I'm super excited for today, and you're never gonna guess why. You would think it's from what I put in the title or description, but wrong. It's actually because I found my raven earrings, so I'm super stoked. If you haven't met me before, I'm an experimental watercolor artist, and specifically I paint with hibiscus tea, and you'll see other tea flavors coming into the lineup soon, but for now, the first experiment has been hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea is only the first experiment. Like, I'm not going to just fence myself in with this purplish color scheme and say, I'm done, that's my signature. I mean, I could, and that's kind of how I've built my audience for now, but I do intend to branch out into my favorite color, for example, green. I've been experimenting with different teas, with different like pigments, even this hibiscus watercolor, right? I said that I steep the tea. For the most of my journey so far, all I've done is steeped it until it reaches a certain type of, not density or viscosity, but like thickness. So what you'll find if you join my mailing list, or if you've been to my website before, is that I'm going to go through a bit of some nomenclature changes. I had been calling this series the ephemeral collection because, when you paint with tea, right, the pigment inevitably fades. Any type of flower or a lot of different like natural pigments you use will fade over time, and I thought that was beautiful because all the passing moments are beautiful, right? We just live in such a crazy, quick world right now that we don't take the slow moments for what they truly are, which is just beautiful. And so that was what the collection was about so far. But what I think I'm going to do is, instead of deviating from this tea thing, I think it really does resonate with me. So that's my thing now. And I'm going to experiment with different colors, and eventually I will overlap those colors. So for now, you're going to see a lot of monochrome, which again, I think is beautiful. And it's not quite monochrome because, well, I'll explain in a second. First of all, I do own a variety of good paints, right? Like, boom. When I do commissions, I often use these instead of my normal medium because that's what people want. They want color accuracy, not just a monochromatic, cool thing that I like to do. My thing is hibiscus watercolor. And you may be thinking, hibiscus, that's just a flower, what do you mean? And I mean this. I'll show you the whole process here, but I take dried hibiscus flowers and I brew them just like tea. And it's summertime. I actually went to, I want to say like McDonald's or like Chick-fil-A or something recently, and they had a soda and like a tea and stuff, and it was all way too sweet for me. But regardless, hibiscus has this unique scent and color to it with hibiscus tea, which again, process is boil water, put dry leaves in whatever receptacle you want, put the hot water in, and wait. Oftentimes I will paint with the tea still hot. Oftentimes I'll wait until it's cold and then I'll seal it up for the next day. It's good for at least a couple days. But yeah, you paint thick enough, you can get those nice crisp lines, but patience is not one of my strong suits lately, so I usually have to wait overnight. You can see my in progress work right here. I'll pull it up. I feel like a kid showing up like something for the refrigerator wall right now. So maybe I'll do this like a boombox. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, I started off, I actually mixed my tea with just straight up water to get this lighter stuff up here. And you'll notice that it turned gray, which is actually really cool. And then as you go down, right, I made it thicker and thicker, and I painted in several layers, particularly for like this mountain here. That's why it's primarily purple. And then, we add in like the further tree lines, so not too much detail. And then as you can see, I'm working on this, this is actually the third layer of the tree line that you can actually kind of see individual trees for. And it is meticulous work, but as you can see, it's pink right now, because when you first paint it on, it is in fact pink, which was beautiful. When I first started this journey of painting with hibiscus tea, I thought, literally at the first time, that it would just be pink. And I was like, oh my gosh, how beautiful. This will be so cool. And then it turned purple. And then as time went on, it turned a little bit gray. And honestly, I think that's so cool. I mean, I'll show you the very first work I did, and I actually pulled it from my website because I think I want to keep it. Maybe it's a little too chaotic for people, but I like it. And again, it was the very first one I did in the collection, so I want it. Unless someone really, really, really loves it, then let me know, and maybe I'll make an exception. This is it. Like I said, it was chaotic. So this is a mountainscape, and it's specifically more of like a snowy one. But as you can see, it's the oldest in the collection, right? And so it's actually pretty gray. Except for, if you see this little dot right here, it's still pink. So yeah, if you layer it on enough, or if you do something in certain ways, especially with acidity, yeah, you can preserve a lot of that. And of course, I spray these with like a UV resistant spray to make them last in like kind of these purpley pink states for as long as possible. Let me pull up one of my favorites, and I think it's maybe, you know, scrolled past a lot because it looks really simple, which is true, but I still love it. Okay. You may be wondering what it is or what have you, like, or you may be thinking, well, that's not very impressive. And so let me take you back to the whole purpose of the collection originally, right? The ephemeral collection was focused on things that, again, peak in beauty and then fade. And so what you see here are the lines in the sand, right? It's summertime. This is the time for it to, you know, take its moment. It's the water lines in the sand after the ocean has receded, right? And so naturally, the top is going to be lighter because, you know, it's been drying in the sun more, so the sand is less wet. And then you have two more lines of similar kind of crunchy, you know, wet sand. What I like about this, which you can't really see in any of the prints, obviously, is the effect of the tea in the lines. And so you're not gonna be able to see this on the video too well either, but if you see it in person, the very edges, see how they're nice and like crunchy? They actually have almost like a sheen to them. It's honestly beautiful, and I know it's simple, but you know, you see the effect of water throughout it, and it's just, I think it's the perfect piece for for your wall, right? Like, it just, especially if you like the beach, or maybe if you don't like the beach, you could tell people it's anything, right? But I don't know, it's very simple, soothing. Again, life is so fast. It's nice to have captured some of the slow beauty, the fading beauty in the world. In some of my paintings is when residual, I hope you can see that. When residual leaves get literally stuck on the painting, I think that just makes it even more unique, even more, I don't know, Kate. The next one I want to talk about is hibiscus, and I know I paint with hibiscus tea, but one of the originals is actually hibiscus flower. And so what's really cool about this one is you get to see three different things. One, you still have the purpley color scheme, but what you'll notice is that there's also some pink. Okay, and so this is what I discovered in the experiment. Not only will you get like this purple color, and if you paint lightly enough, it turns gray, but if you paint thickly enough, if you paint enough layers quickly enough, or, you know, based on the acidity of the paper and like what time you paint with the hibiscus, you'll get pinks too. And so I really like this one. The whole premise behind this painting is that it's the different stages of bloom of hibiscus. And so you can see it from its tight bud stage to its full bloom. I decided to keep it there because, again, I wanted to capture the quickness of its beauty and then its rapid descent into decay, right? Maybe I'll paint the decay part later. But again, I really like this one. It's pretty. It's a flower. It's, again, summertime. Hello. If you've stuck around this long in this video, honestly, thank you so much. You're helping me achieve my dreams, and you know, it's my birthday this week, so again, thank you for helping to support me, and maybe I'll get my birthday wish, right? Of people visiting my website. And maybe buying something too. Actually cut out the rambling that I just did for a couple minutes, and I'm gonna be straight with you, okay? I did figure out what I want for my birthday, and I just want one person to buy something for my website. I know that sounds really mundane, and I have things that range from like $8 to like around $300, $400, right? But I just want one, right? Or okay, I'll put options here. I want someone to buy one thing from my website, or I want 10 people to sign up for my emailing list. Sorry if that sounded aggressive, but I have dreams on my birthday. So if that sounds like you, go to my website, surelytheraven.com. I have originals, prints, mumble backgrounds from all sorts of price ranges. Definitely join my newsletter. And if you're interested in a commission specifically, head over to my contact form on my About page and fill that out. Honestly, your support means the world to me, and I am so grateful for you all. Okay, bye.